Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kim and this is Expedition 3 Pages. I just wanted to say before I get into the video, just thank you to everyone who's watched my booktube newbie tag video. It's been really fun, everyone's been so nice, and it's good to I've really enjoyed going on other people's channels, people that have commented, and just looking at what other people are reading and what they're doing with their channels. And I think I think this is a good idea that I've started this channel, and already I'm loving the community vibe that there is, and the space that everybody seems to have created is just it's just really nice. So thank you very much for watching, I appreciate it. Okay, let's get on with the video. So today what I wanted to do was to chat to you about some books I recently acquired. And there's quite a few that I would like to try and get to in February, so stay tuned for that if it happens. I've tried to split them up. We've got actually like a few dystopians, which shocked me, but apparently I like the sound of dystopians. Some fiction, and I've got 4 non-fiction books just at the end to show you out of the 10. This year I decided to join in with Life's Library, which is John Green and Rosianna's book club that they do. It's pretty expensive. I can't remember exactly how much the year was, but I'll put it down here on the screen. I'm trying to forget how much it was, to be honest. But it was a bit of a, I've got a job again, I'm going to splash out on myself kind of thing. So you get to be part of the Discord for the book club and stuff, which is really cool. But I received my first book in the post the other day, and you see some stickers and things like that with the book, and also a letter from John Green. This is the Life's Library, just a little letter there from him, which was nice to read. If you don't know John Green, well, you probably do. He's a huge author, stroke one half of the Vlogbrothers, who they have their own YouTube channel. They run loads of science and history YouTube channels, and just really great people. And Rosianna has a YouTube channel as well, and I'll link that down below. The first book of the year is Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. So this is set in 2024, and it's kind of set in the chaos that climate change has brought to the world. This book was actually, I believe, written in 1993, so she's projecting quite far ahead about the kind of chaos. She believes that the climate change and economic crisis of the early 2020s has caused upon the world, which I think we all are aware that seems quite true. We follow a girl called Lauren. It's set in California. She's 15, so I believe it's a bit of a coming of age kind of story as well. So I'm very, very interested to read this. My second dystopian that I bought myself is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. And this is actually Handpicked Blogs, I don't know why I struggle to say that, I do sometimes. Handpicked Blogs next read along. She did 1984 last year and I joined in, it was super fun. I don't know too much about this book, except that it's dystopian. Hannah loves dystopian, and it says the novel that became Blade Runner, which sounds pretty intriguing. This is Earth devastated, like a dystopian because Earth has been devastated after a big war. So I've seen part of like the new Blade Runner that was out, but I didn't finish watching it. But I quite like going into kind of more classic-y books without knowing too much about it, because it always, more often than not, pleasantly surprises me. Then one of my Christmas books that I received was Station 11, which I've heard like lots of good things about on BookTube. It's about a girl who, well, I don't know if it's just only about a girl. I think we're following, it says following Kirsten around. She performs Shakespeare in like this travelling kind of theatre group. And it's 20 years after there has been a deadly virus spread in North America and presumably has wiped out a lot of people, and it's kind of the aftermath 20 years down the line of that, there's now a new threat to the society, but I think people are living in like camps. I'm not actually sure what happened. But yeah, it seems like a very intriguing book and I'm excited to read it. So those are the 3 dystopians that I seem to have acquired of late. Then we have, I bought this in Waterstones because it is absolutely beautiful book. I saw it and I was like, okay, I'll buy it. I buy into the cover. But also I had heard a couple of people mention this on their channels. I can't remember who now off the top of my head. But it's The Binding by Bridget Collins. And this is set in a world where if something tragic or traumatizing happens to you, you can bind the memories in a book and store them away and you just forget about them, basically. So this follows someone who goes to work at one of these bookbinding places, and then one day he comes across like a book with his name on, and I guess the mystery ensues from there, like what has he needed to forget, I believe. That's what I take from it, so I hope that's correct. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm hoping to get to this one over the next couple of months. Then we have a sequel called The Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. I recently read earlier this month A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling following Prince Ren and Harper, who's a girl from America who gets whisked to another world in order to partake in this Beauty and the Beast curse, basically. The usual story, the girl has to fall in love with the prince, etc. in order to break the curse. I gave that book 3.5 stars. I have a video coming out, I have a video that I've been recording just about my thoughts and feelings about that book, so I won't talk too much about that here, but I did give it 3.5 stars. So I didn't absolutely love it. I found some of the writing style a little bit too cheesy for my taste, but it is written for a younger audience than myself. But it was gripping, and at the end I was hooked, to be honest, and so I wanted to get the second one pretty much straight away, and I did. So I'm looking forward to reading this, hopefully in the next couple of months as well. Another Christmas book I received was Salt to the Sea by Rita Sepetys. This is a historical fiction novel set in World War II, and I believe it follows 4 people who are trying to gain access to a ship in order to escape wherever they are. And yeah, so I believe this is incredibly sad, as I think all of her books seem to be. I don't know, I haven't read any, so I'm looking forward to reading this one and just kind of delving into it. I haven't read too much about it, I just heard a couple of good reviews on BookTube. I should probably start remembering where I've seen the reviews, but it was a few months ago. It's been on my wish list on Amazon for a while, and I think, or my Goodreads for a while, and a family member picked it up for me, so I look forward to reading this too. And that's all the fiction books that I've acquired recently. So now up for the non-fiction books, where 3 of them I received for Christmas, and one of them I bought myself, so I'll start with the one that I bought myself, and that is The Brain, The Story of You by David Eagleman. Consciousness and the brain just absolutely fascinates me, so I'm really excited to read this, and that's all I can tell you at the moment, but hopefully I can tell you a little bit more about The Brain once I've read it. The next 3, as I said, I got from different people over Christmas. The first one is The Radium Girls by Kate Moore, and this is basically about a group of women in World War II who were using a luminous substance derived from radium to paint like watches and clocks and things like that. As we know now, it's poisonous, so they had quite gruesome effects from working with this radium for a long time. It sounds, I think, again, I cannot remember who reviewed it, I feel really terrible, but they said that it made them quite angry, whoever read this book. If I remember, I put it down here, but I honestly just cannot quite remember. These women wanted justice for what happened to them, basically, from the companies that they were working for, and I believe that they denied all kind of responsibility for them. So it's kind of the story of their fight for justice and things like that, and I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully there's a bit of science in there too. Next we have Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. I did really want to read this one, I still do, obviously, but I didn't realise quite what it was, but it's just very, very short kind of, see, they're not even essays, like little pieces of writing, I don't know if there's a word for that, that kind of talks to you about how to deal with, you know, things like the internet and, yeah, reality versus supermarkets and panic attacks, and I think kind of handling modern day life. I've read The Humans by Matt Haig, and I did enjoy that book, so I know I do like his writing, and I've heard very good things about this. So yes, I'll let you know what I think when I get to it. I'm probably going to be like diving into it every now and then. I'm just reading a few, especially if I'm feeling a bit anxious or something that day. Last but not least is Greta Thunberg's No One Is Too Small to Make a Difference. And this book just follows, I guess, her life for a year between, well, it doesn't follow her life for a year, but it is writings from the speeches that she gave at climate rallies in various different places between October 2018 and September of last year. So it's just all kind of packaged in one little place. And to be honest, I've missed a lot of her speeches. I haven't watched them all, that's for sure. And I feel like I'm interested to read them and really kind of take them in. Rather than just like snippets that you see on Facebook or whatever, or like on the news, just like little pieces. It'll be good to read them as unedited, how she wanted you to read them, basically. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. So that about sums it up with my 10 books that I have acquired recently. If you've read anything, or if there's anything you're like, yes, you have to read that next month, let me know. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to speak to you down in the comments. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.